So I wanted to get into more of like, how people can kind of like use on-chain data and like I mean like yeah, bubble maps. I think it's like a very interesting tool. So I want to maybe get more into that. Like how can people like use bubble maps to kind of find alpha? And I want to approach this from maybe two different angles. So one angle would be smart wallets and whales that are just kind of doing transactions. And I just want to know like, what kind of behavior people can kind of look for, like maybe standards or, some of the more known behaviors, more known alpha of way of finding these. So that's one. And then number two is starting more on the token side of things. So maybe starting with, kind of like tokens or NFTs, if you guys support it. So, more on the project side where they can look at the project and then somehow using on-chain data, like find alpha. Like what are some of the ways that people can, find alpha in those two kind of like category as a starting point?
So when you wanna improve your trading strategy, find alphas, the first thing I'd like to say, and you see it comes from a genuine perspective, you should not rely on one particular tool. You should have a diversified set of tools because they're all providing different or covering different areas. And when it comes to really, smart following smart wallets, following really try to understand where the smart money is going. I think there's multiple tools out there that are doing a great job at this. For example, Nansen, it's their logo, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
their slogan, follow the smart money, and you can see really where what they label as smart whales, smart wallets are doing, which token they're investing into. The thing with Nansen is that it's pretty expensive as well.
Yeah.
It's under a paywall, so you need to pay a certain amount to just get this data in the first place.
Right.
With Bubble Maps, I would say one thing that we have, which is very interesting, is a very good, convenient way to avoid investing into scams.
Ah,
So not
interesting.
necessarily
Okay.
where to invest, but where not to invest.
Interesting. How does that work?
So for example, you you can check the new listed coins on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko,
Mm-hmm.
which is where there's plenty of users that go there because they know it's tokens that are a bit under the radar and with high gains perspective potentially.
Right.
Um, and man, we do this every day here at the office. We put them all on bubble maps, and you have no idea how suspicious the majority of them look. So what do we see
Wait,
usually?
wait, yeah. What do you mean by suspicious?
I'm gonna tell you right
Okay,
now.
okay,
So
okay.
suspicious means that you're gonna have clusters with 40% of the supply, 50% of the supply, even more sometimes. So essentially, the team is low key controlling a huge percentage of the circulating supply,
Mm,
but without disclosing it.
wait, circulating supply or locked supply? Circulating.
Circulating, but also locked. The thing with locked supply is you never know really for how long it's locked. It's really
True.
hard to know
But
because you could just lock
wouldn't
supply for like, okay,
wouldn't
1 week.
right, but I mean like wouldn't all the other projects kind of look the same way? Because like usually the foundation, the treasury has most of the tokens and you'll see these big clusters of tokens that are locked into foundation's treasury, right?
That's true.
Mm.
That's true. There are some big tokens out there, like I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
DYDX.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have a huge amount of the treasury
Yep,
locked,
yep.
but then it's disclosed in the white paper. It's something
Ah,
that
okay,
is
okay.
usually transparent. The thing is, when you see a discrepancy between what's disclosed in the white paper or by the team and the bubble maps, is where you should see alarms, right? It should be alarming.
Got it. Okay, okay.
And And essentially, when you make your due diligence, your DOR, when you do your own research on a project, you have to investigate multiple verticals. You have to check the team, you have to check their marketing efforts, their
Yep.
social presence. There's multiple things you should check.
Mm-hmm.
The contract. But the thing is, all of this takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to when you check their bubble map, it's going to take you 5 seconds to see if there's something weird.
Right,
If there's
right,
huge conglomerate wallets that communicate with each other, then you know you have to maybe ask yourself some questions. And let
right.
me tell you one thing. What we found to be super interesting is not necessarily when you look at the bubble map yourself, but more so when you share the bubble map to the project. So let's say there's a token with a suspicious bubble map, you send them a screenshot and you see how they react. If they are giving you reasons like, all right, no, this is a normal cluster, this is a liquidity pool, and these are this, but if they are starting to mute you, to ban you from their Telegram, then you have your
Oh,
answer.
oh, that is super sketchy. Okay, that's a good way of using it. Yeah. No, if they're muting you and banning you, that's definitely a red flag.
Absolutely. Like oftentimes we found that the way they answer to their bubble map is actually more revealing than the bubble map itself.
Okay, okay. Interesting.